Hi Francois, thanks for watching. This is just a quick look at how Google views and ranks your website in the search results. By knowing how the program works, we can use it to your advantage to increase the traffic to your site by getting in on the first page. So that way you're the first click and the first call when anybody's searching in the area. Now I got your website pulled up here. When Google looks at your site to rank it, it's going to use two different factors. The first is the content. It's going to come in and count all the words on the page. It's usually looking for about 1,000 to 1,500 words because it assumes the more information you have, the more of an expert that you are. Now, while it's counting words, it's also looking for keywords. Anything that a person will be searching, usually going to be a service and a location. Now, this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play because you're only allowed to have one keyword for every 100 to 150 words of text. So the more keywords you want to be found for, the more text and information we have to put on the page. The problem we're having here is these are all pictures, so you're not really being found for any of these keywords, and this is just a list. Google wants to see that the keywords are inside of a paragraph or as a heading where they appear organically. I'll explain a little bit more of this later on. The second way that it's going to rank your website is based on the page authority, which is basically a popularity contest. There's two ways to build authority. The first is getting what's called citations. That's any time that your name, address, and phone number are listed in an online directory, such as Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. They're usually always free to get. However, you just take some time to find all the directories, register your business, and then input all your information. The second way that it builds authority is through what's called backlinks. That's when another website links or refers back to yours. Basically acts as an endorsement for Google to build trust because others are vouching for you. You can kind of equate that to a customer review. If you had 1,000 5-star reviews, customers would think pretty highly of you. Google is doing the same thing, except it's using other websites. So to see how this determines your ranking in the web, first thing we see what pops up here whenever you search is what's called the map pack. To get in here, you need to fill out your Google Business profile. It's free. It's inside your Google Maps app, so you can do it right from your smartphone. You want to fill out as much information as possible, including the services you offer, your service area, even your hours of operation. Then you want to continuously add photos that are geotagged inside of your service area and upload them as well as posts to your Google profile. Have some customer reviews posted. And then also you want to get as many of those citations, the directory listings with your name, address, and phone number. You want to be listed in more directories than anybody else on this list to improve the ranking here. Now underneath that, this is what we call the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority or the more trust Google has in your website, the higher up that you're going to rank. So what I did is I took the top results from both Pest Control and Mosquito, as well as your website, and I put them into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the information that Google finds when it crawls your site for both the content and the authority. Now, just to quickly define these, if, say, Channel 10 News did an article and it said best pest control companies in Rhode Island, and in that article the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website, that would be considered one backlink from one referring domain. So this is where all the authority gets built. That's the referring websites and those citations. So just as a comparison, we have in pest control, this company right here is like a national franchise. So I looked into them. They push a lot of power because they have a huge budget. They are literally into the thousands as far as numbers of backlinks. So then we go to Big Blue Bug, which is like a staple in Rhode Island, and Cobra Pest. Big Blue Bug, pretty big. You know, it's not nearly as big as a franchise, but they got 900 of them. That's pretty typical. However, Cobra Pest, they've only got 121. So I think that it'd be cost prohibitive to try to compete with them, but we can definitely get you onto the first page, which is really all you need. You don't need to be at the very top. It's nice, but as long as you're in the top 3 or 5, people are still going to see you. So we can easily outrank the next 2 competitors, so you can still be seen. And then if we get you in here as well, It's just double exposure. Now, Mosquito, same thing. Actually, no, Mosquito Joe is not a franchise. He wasn't that bad at all. He's very easy to beat as well. So there wouldn't be as much effort on that side either as there would be trying to compete with a national franchise. So just one thing to note here, it's not always just about the sheer number, the quantity of links, it's also the quality. So for instance, we wouldn't want to have like Pizza Hut referring back to your website because Google understands that you are not making pizzas and that wouldn't add any kind of authority or trust to your site. So as far as keywords, this is where I was getting earlier. It's not really finding many keywords on your site because they're all inside of a picture. And like I said, these are just in a list. They're not appearing organically. So Google is not finding them. So you're not ranking for those words. But this is where, if I choose, let's say them as an example, what we would do is we do some research to find all the highest volume keywords. The volume is the number of times per month that this word or phrase is being searched. So let's see if we do tick spray, tick prevention, tick control. So any one of these, this phrase is being searched 800 times a month. So if you were on the first page, like I said, second, third listing, even underneath that franchise, you're still being seen. That's being seen 800 times a month. If we're really conservative and we say that only 10% of the people that view your website actually click on it and give you a call, that's 80 potential new customers a month. Then if we're even more conservative and say only 10% of those actually purchase your service and become an actual customer, then you've got 8 new customers per month just off of one keyword. So then we would do the same thing for all the other high volume keywords, do the research, find out which ones are being searched most often, and then make sure that we include those on your website. Same for the pest control side. We would do the same research and find out which ones are being searched the most, and then we would add those to your site. So in order for this site to rank, it would definitely need to be rebuilt so it can accommodate a lot more text and content, and then we can sprinkle in those keywords so that way you can be found. So I hope this information is helpful. If you have any kind of questions, you want me to go into any further detail, I'd be happy to. We could also talk about some goals you have for the business, and then I can do the research on my side and find out what it would take for you to reach those. I'd love to get your feedback and let me know what you think about this. So I appreciate your time and thank you. I look forward to speaking with you.